Things up a little bit. I kind of timed this out a little bit yesterday. It was a little bit longer than maybe you have time this morning, but there are a bunch of things I wanted to go over today because I think a lot of people don't understand the foundation of what the fire service is and what it is in the community and how we get there. So I wanted to that's kind of like my overview of what I want to try to accomplish this morning, so you walk out of here with a little bit better understanding of what we are and not so much what we do. I think you get the part of what we do, but the what we are and how we get there is important. I put this little dumb picture up here, and that's me with a shopping cart at Piggly Wiggly in Grays Lake. Our motto is serving our community with professionalism, integrity, and pride. I kind of lost the pride part with that picture because I don't know if many of you saw what was in the paper last year, but I had to do a shopping spree for the Lake County Farm Bureau for charity, and I went up against the Grays Lake Fire Chief and lost. So I want to apologize right up front that I didn't keep the pride part up for the community of Mundelein, but it was really cool.
Did you have to, who spent more?
Yeah, what we did was we had to shop for commodities that had oats, wheats, barley, corn, and something else in there. Oat, wheat, most of the grains. And so you had to go in there and shop for that because it's for the Farm Bureau for charity for their food pantry. And so we both thought we were cute, and we did a little bit of recon the night before, making our shopping list. It was pretty hilarious. And went into Piggly Wiggly in Grays Lake and did that. But and then T. Campy, who you probably know from the township, controls all that, and he put that all together. So it was kind of a fun thing. But the reason I put that up there is fire chiefs are targets for all kinds of really fun things that you get to do well beyond running the fire. In fact, I don't run fires anymore. I mean, I pretty much have a staff that controlled most of that, and we actually go in and support them. And that's a departure from the past because in a lot of cases, the fire chief was the guy out there with the white helmet on and everything and doing all that. So we've restructured. Fire Department 101 is what we're going to do today, and I'm right in your way.
That's all right.
But we do a lot of different stuff. There's this collage of pictures kind of represents that. The one thing I'll plug is our blood drives. Pretty critically important to the community. Mary Yoho and I, from the Park District, developed a committee, actually by ordinance, because we didn't have one when I got here. So when did I get here? And I'll talk a little bit more about these traditions. I served for 28 years in Buffalo Grove, and I'm pretty much from that area. My father was a pilot with United. We ended up in the Buffalo Grove area because of domiciles for pilots, and I ended up going off to college to NIU and then coming back after that and getting into the fire service. I fell in love with medicine, and I was a paramedic for 16 years of my career. I've been in the fire service for 32 years, so I've been doing this for a long time. And so when I got here, we didn't have anything that was really organized with blood commissions and drives and stuff like that. We're trying to spark it up. So as business people, I really need your help. We're going to work with Terry in getting out the word as we reorganize this, and we're promoting this more and more. The reason I'm passionate about this, there isn't a single person I don't touch that hasn't either had a family member involved with cancer, or if you saw the traumas I saw over the years in my career as a paramedic, I will tell you, people need blood. We're always at critical lows with the winter months and the summer months, and so we try to do our best to try to get this in the community. We also lost our donation center that was down by Jewel at the beginning of this year. Now, what a lot of people don't know is, from this community, which is pretty impressive, 2,200 units a year came out of that facility. Not enough to sustain it, but certainly people we don't want to lose in the system. So we're going to continue to promote that, and we may need some help from the businesses. But we do everything. Pancake breakfasts, our open houses. This has been a tough issue with budgets. We've had to stop that, and it's really been tough because it's one of the times we get into the community. And even when we have people that retire, we're big in tradition. That's why the bagpiper's up there, and we're walking out one of our officers who recently retired. So there's a myriad of different things we do. We're very active in the county on a regional basis, and I can talk for hours about all the different things that we do. We are the bucket of stuff when it comes to trying to do anything from rescue from hazardous materials to high-angle rescue to below-grade rescue to trench rescue, you name it, we do it. Dive, that's the fire service of today. So it's very diverse in what we do as a service to the community, including pancake breakfasts. So I mean, you name it, we're usually involved in it. And it's been kind of born by the fact that people have a problem, and they would migrate to the fire service or law enforcement and say, which one of you two are going to fix this? That's actually how the paramedic program came out of Vietnam. If you're not familiar with that, it's just that whole medic program started from the Vietnam War, and they went to law enforcement first, believe it or not, and said, do you guys want to do this? And they went, no way. We carry guns. That's it. That's how simple that process was. They came to the fire service and said, what do you guys think? We embraced it, and you have some of the most stellar EMS service pre-hospital in the country in this area, because it was really born from here in Seattle, Washington. Those were the two bases between in the country that really started out the EMS programs. And of course, paramedics have been around since about 1972, so it's pretty impressive what we do. One of the other things that we do is we have a program after fires, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the operation that we're really proud of here, is that we bring the community together after a fire, and I'm familiar with ServPro and what they do. We don't stop with the fact that there's a house fire and then we walk away. We roll up the hose, we do all those pretty things you see on TV, and we walk away. We try to have continuity with the homeowner after that and the community in that general area, because it takes 9 months to a year sometimes to rebuild a home, and people are coming home to that neighborhood and seeing that house that's in that condition and seeing it every day and wondering what happened, and you know, all the speculation starts, and then you get the rumors of it was electrical and things like that, and so everybody gets a little bit nervous. So what I brought here with me from Buffalo Grove that we created about 12 years ago now was the After the Fire program. And we have this nice little community-based get-together, do a little public education, but we talk about the fire, we walk through the house, we show people what happened, so it dispels that whole rumor control process. And not that I would hope that we get every neighborhood within the community, because then I'd really have an educated community, but over time that will eventually happen, where we'll have enough pockets where fires happen, they're just going to, it's something that we can't get away from. We try to reach out to the community and tell them all about that. So, going into what we have, I wanted you to see a little bit of what we do on a day-to-day basis. I have a shift commander that runs the 2 stations that we have. We are looking at a 3rd fire station. It is part of the master planning for the village, probably somewhere on the west side, but we have an east side issue too because of rail traffic. I'm not going to get into all those details, we wouldn't have enough time. But we do have a shift commander that runs a shift. I have 2 stations. Each of those stations are staffed with firefighter paramedics, an officer that's in charge of those guys and what they do on a daily basis. And then I just listed out apparatus. Now, everybody got a coupon ticket thingy when you got in here, all right? I never ever go anywhere without a hitch. I always have a hitch. So these highly sought after, coveted Mundelein Fire Department chocolate mugs, hot chocolate mugs, are what's on the table today as a prize. So you have to pay attention because there's a quiz at the end of this.
Oh, God.
All right, so you have to pay attention. It's an easy quiz. It won't be real difficult. And then, so 2 of you will win those cups by virtue of answering the questions. And then 1 of you will win it by virtue of, we're going to pick
luck.
Just sheer luck. You don't even have to pay attention. See, so I let you doze a little bit if you want. You still have the odds of what? You know, 1 in 30 chance you're going to get it. But anyway, so we have a myriad of different equipment that we operate on a daily basis. And it's important for you to know, because as I go through this equipment and you start to see what your tax dollars are doing, it's pretty amazing. Amazing to add up the dollars and cents of what we have, which is what I'll show you next. So that's basically our complement of what we have, and there's some other vehicles that we have that will support our operation. Now, everybody had a professor that was always a nice professor in college, where he said, pay attention like right now. Pay attention like right now. It might be a quiz question. All right. Apparatus. The reason I wanted to show you this is the big unknown to people, that it's really, when I tell you what the cost of this stuff is, and that's what I want to bring to your attention today, what you see on the street as an asset for this village and what your tax dollars are paying for as a resident or a business of this community, it's really important for you to know it. Now, I'm not going to get overly technical, but these 2 top vehicles are aerial vehicles. This one has a little bit of a slightly different name, and this is our newest baby. It's called a Quint, but they're aerial apparatus, ladder trucks. Anybody want to venture a guess at what that one cost?
$750,000.
You're not far off. You're a little high, actually. That's impressive.
I went with the extra.
Yeah, it's about 6 1/4.
Put air conditioning in
The
it.
GPS.
Yeah, with air conditioning, and but we actually have power windows now, believe it or not. We're getting there, you know. 650,000. Okay, this is its sister. It's just a little bit taller ladder. Right now, price is out at about $1.2 million for me to buy a new one. And believe it or not, that one was purchased in 1995, and most fire apparatus have a 20-year life cycle. And so when you look at that, it's coming up to its 20th year life cycle, and we've got a budget $1.2 million to buy 1 piece of apparatus. Law enforcement doesn't do that in squad cars in 3 years, 4 years, maybe even 5. So it's important to see that A, you invest in that, B, we try to create a service life out of it so that you can have it for a long time. Because they're not mine. they're yours. You buy it.